Thanks for inviting us in at 6 o'clock, and we begin tonight with breaking news. We've got new information about that lockdown at Westfield High School. Prompted by a potential threat today, police lifted the lockdown late this afternoon. Our Rich Nye has been talking to police and school officials today. So Rich, what have you learned?
Scott, police tell us that they found no credible threat here this afternoon at Westfield High School. No shots were fired and no one was injured, but certainly there were plenty of parents and students inside and outside the school this afternoon who were very scared for about an hour today. The call came in to the administration, someone saying that they were going to shoot people at Westfield High School. That was just after 2 o'clock this afternoon. The school was placed on lockdown. Students and staff barricaded themselves in classrooms. Police from 7 different law enforcement agencies showed up here. There might have been 100 officers or more here on the scene. Concerned parents stood around the perimeter of the school waiting for information. Police swept the school classroom by classroom. Again, they found no threats. Students were actually dismissed at the normal time of 3:39 this afternoon. And I asked one senior who was under his desk hiding today about coming back to school tomorrow.
I'm personally nervous about that. I do think there's going to be a lot of people who are being out. I already heard people talk about that. I feel like on one hand, it definitely feels dangerous to go back, but on the other, I personally feel like that's letting them win.
Westfield police say they have that threat phone call recorded and they will be analyzing it. Now, this may have just been a hoax or a prank, but it certainly caused a major disruption to the school day and terrified many families here this afternoon, Scott.
All right, Rich, thanks for that update tonight. A man is dead this evening in what police are now calling a self-defense shooting in Cumberland. As our Ashton Hackman explains, this happened in the same neighborhood that saw a shooting just days ago.
Cumberland police tell us these 2 latest shootings, including the one here Sunday night on Dunshire Road, they're much different than the ones they saw this summer, but officers unfortunately know this neighborhood quite well.
Markers on this map mimic police shell casing markers, pointing to the 6 different shootings at or near Knoll Ridge Apartments since June. The latest Sunday night happened when a woman says she shot and killed a man trying to sexually assault her. Just around the corner earlier Friday morning, a similar shooting. This time a man who shot and critically injured another man he says was breaking into his home.
While they're tragic incidents, we have people making poor decisions, and then we have 2 other individuals that were forced into a traumatic situation, and they're going to have to learn how to deal with that.
The 2 latest shootings after a violent summer in the same neighborhood where a 12-year-old was shot and killed in June.
We've reached out to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office for an update on where the homicide investigation stands. We haven't heard back. In Cumberland, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Tonight, an infant who wasn't even a month old is dead, and his dad is now under arrest in Howard County. The sheriff's office tells us tonight the deputies responded to a call yesterday of an unresponsive child at a home on East 50 North in Greentown. They found a baby boy badly injured. He died at the hospital. Police later arrested the boy's father, an 18-year-old man, after investigators determined his story did not match with the child's injuries. So far, no official charges have been filed. We've got an update for you tonight to a story that we first brought you earlier this month here on 13 News at 6. A memorial for fallen Beech Grove police officer Bill Toney raised more than $108,000 over the weekend. This week marks 25 years since Officer Toney died. That money will help provide bullet-resistant windshields for Beech Grove patrol cars. Back in 2022, Elwood police officer Noah Chanovez was also killed when a man allegedly shot him through the windshield of his police car. The state of Indiana tonight is now moving forward with its next scheduled execution. Today, Indiana Governor Mike Braun announced that he will allow Roy Ward to be put to death next week. Last week, the parole board unanimously rejected Ward's clemency bid. He's been on death row since he was convicted of raping and killing 15-year-old Stacy Payne in 2001 in southern Indiana. His execution is now set for next Friday, October 10th. Angela?
Scott, lots of sunshine today and a very warm afternoon. We were near 90 degrees most of the afternoon. We're still at 87 at Morse Reservoir and in Carmel, 84 Bainbridge, 82 Connorsville, 87 Brown County, and 87 degrees in Bunker Hill. Mainly clear night for us and temperatures that will drop through the 70s during the late evening hours, eventually into the 50s overnight, so a little cooler than what we had this morning. Expecting 58 Indianapolis, 56 Shelbyville and Greencastle, 55 Lafayette, and down to 53 in Kokomo and Muncie. After that somewhat cool start, temperatures will climb upper 60s by mid-morning. Midday temperatures tomorrow in the mid-70s. And expecting highs in the mid-80s. Those numbers come down just a couple of degrees for the middle part of the week, but you can see the numbers for the week ahead stay in the 80s, stay above average. Our average high now in the low 70s. These numbers a good 15 degrees above that. 85 tomorrow into the low 80s Wednesday. Thursday, we'll talk rain chances in the 7-day.
All right, see you in a little bit, Angela. Thanks. Tonight at 6, we've got a shocking record here in our city. New data shows Indianapolis is seeing a record number of bicyclists hit and killed on our streets. Our Samantha Johnson spent today with those advocating for change and asking our city for help.
So I have not owned a car since 2010. I moved here in part because I could live a car-free life.
Tony Sharolis is the executive director of Central Indiana Cycling. He's on 2 wheels every day.
My bike is a early 2000s Raleigh Technium.
And he knows the risks of the road.
You may be in the right, but if the car doesn't yield, you're still going to get injured.
So far this year, according to new data collected by Safe Streets Indy, 8 bicyclists have been hit and killed on Indy streets. That's a record high. 11 other incidents resulted in serious injury, and of that total, nearly half were hit and runs.
And unfortunately, we still have the entire fourth quarter of the year to go.
Eric Holt founded Safe Streets Indy. He says the city has fallen behind on Vision Zero, a mission to eliminate traffic-related fatalities and serious injuries. Holt says the task force was supposed to lay out a plan by July 1st. That still hasn't happened.
But that plan was supposed to influence the city's budget for 2026.
The city knows where the unsafe streets are. They know where folks are walking, biking, getting to bus stops. We recently had a neighbor this year reach out to us at 52nd Street and say, I can hear people when they get hit from my patio. And I don't want to hear people get hit.
These new numbers come right at the beginning of Week Without Driving. It's a nationwide campaign to get people to use public transportation, walk or bike, and it's rooted in advocacy and awareness.
Safety improvements for people that walk, bike, and take transit are safety improvements for everyone.
These are our neighbors. These are, our friends and family, and we need to do better for them.
In Indianapolis, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
Week Without Driving is an interactive experience with local events and challenges all week. You can read more about how you can get involved right now over on WTHR.com. And today's report also comes after 2 people were injured over the weekend after being struck while they were out for a walk. One man is in the hospital with several broken bones after being struck by a car around 9:30 last night near New York Street and Randolph Street. That's on the near east side of Indy. Police tonight still looking for a suspect in that crash. About an hour earlier, IMPD responded to another call of a person struck, this time near 36th and Keystone. Police tell us the victim broke both his legs. So far, police have not released any information about that driver.